Hello and welcome to Effervescent, where we embrace a full circle approach to health. Today, we are going to dive into weightlifting for women, all of the fads, all of the things. But before we do that, we are going to do some mindful breaths with Kinley. So, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, even if you're driving, if you've had a stressful day, just take this moment to breathe.
Okay, so we're going to start out. You can keep your eyes open or closed. And your first breath, just unclench your jaw and take a breath. And then as you exhale, let the face relax. And then on your next breath, inhale, draw the shoulders up to the ears. And then exhale, relax the shoulders, relax the face, relax the jaw. Now this last breath, take a full deep breath, the deepest breath you've taken. Shrug the shoulders up to the ears. And then exhale, let everything go. Face relaxes. And then just find your normal rhythm of breath. Let yourself smile just a little. And let's get started.
Perfect. Thank you, Kinley. First, I want to say thank you guys for all of the love that we've received on our episodes so far. It's really been such a great thing. And so, yeah, I just so appreciate it. I appreciate knowing that we are helping people and doing the things and saying the things that we were supposed to be saying. So, yeah. And also, if you guys, the audience, the listener, ever has any questions, comments, things you want us to touch on, please feel free to comment it down below or whatever, DM us on Instagram. I just wanted to say thank you. Okay, today we are talking about weightlifting for women specifically, but also men, because the fads, they go after both genders no matter what. With this topic, the North Star that I have for this topic is to explain why I believe everyone needs to be lifting weights, and also the fad words that are used to say the things that are, it's like true, but there's nuance to it. So it's almost like debunking the things and also saying why we need to lift weights. So here is what I hear often, and this is what you guys ask me too, is, will I get bulky? Will I get bulky if I start lifting weights? I feel like that is a common kind of fear and misconception about women, especially lifting weights, is they're going to get bulky and strong, and then they see girls on social media that are crazy jacked and all of this stuff. And I will say there is so much more to be said on this topic than, oh, if you touch a weight, you're going to get bulky. So I just want to put out some facts real fast. One, if you ever look at bodybuilders, okay? Bodybuilders, they will grow all this muscle, they'll eat all this food, do their bulk, and then when they do their cut, when they step on stage, if you've ever seen even a woman bodybuilder stepping on stage, if you see her in person, she's actually incredibly small. But if you see her on social media, where she's super shredded and ripped, muscle will make you look bigger and appear bigger than you actually are in person. So that is one misconception that I see. Yes.
Huh.
Yes. So, muscle weighs more than fat, but it's more dense. So if you have like striations and you can see your muscles, you will appear bigger online. But like if you see these girls, they are tiny, like tiny, tiny. So that's a big misconception I see, is like, oh, bodybuilders are like huge. It's actually like, no, they've stripped away all of the fat and now you can only see muscle. So there's this saying that says, if you want to lose 10 pounds of, wait, if you want to gain 5 pounds of muscle, lose 10 pounds of fat. Because once you see that transition, you're able to like unveil the muscle underneath. It makes you look way bigger just by losing kind of your layer on top of it, your fat on top of it. So that's what's super interesting. But on top of that, another fact that I want to tell you guys is muscle is incredibly hard to build, especially for women. And I'm going to get into the reason why you need to lift weights, why all women, all men, everyone needs to lift weights. But there's a huge misconception on, oh, if I just start getting on a weightlifting program, like I'm going to gain all this muscle and like be too jacked. No. Unless you're incredibly new to the gym, there's this thing called newbie gains. You may have heard of this before, but when you start lifting weights, you've never lift weights in your life, your body will respond way quicker. So like, yeah, you might see a bigger result. But actually, I want you guys to guess how much muscle, if you're on a dialed program, let's say you're a newbie on a dialed program, and then I'll go to advanced.
Me or the average? Like
Do
people who go to
guess beginner. Guess beginner first, and then guess after like 3 to 5 years of lifting.
My guess is 3 pounds
Okay. For a beginner?
for beginner.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah, I was thinking 5, but I
No idea. I was also thinking 10. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is what's interesting, and obviously it's different with men and women because men have more testosterone. So for the ladies listening to this, it's even harder for you to gain muscle because you don't have testosterone. So you're not going to look that of a man unless you get on performance enhancing drugs, which I do not condone, but if you do that, that's your choice. So for beginners in the gym, obviously men will gain more than women, but a beginner on like a really dialed program and they're eating protein, because protein is what builds muscle, they can gain about 10 pounds of muscle, which is a lot. That's incredible.
Yeah.
If you gain 10 pounds of muscle, one, it'll raise your metabolism, so you might even lose some fat and you will look incredibly different, like even in a year. Advanced lifters, after like advanced is there's a lot of terms to say, like probably like an intermediate. Me now, like I will be pushing as hard as I can and I'll probably only gain like 2 pounds of muscle, 2 to 5. 5 is crazy.
for a year.
For a year. So there's this, it's a, what is it called? Exponential curve so at first you gain a lot and then you'll start gaining very little. You can still gain some, but like it's a lot. So it's almost like you're maintaining your muscles. So I want,
a lot of times a bell curve.
is it a belt?
No, I'm
What
just
is that
teasing.
called? I'm like, I don't
That's
know.
where you go up and then it drops at the end.
Oh no.
Sometimes that's how it feels for me. But go ahead.
I mean, if you're looking on a long enough time horizon, if you're 90 years old, it might be a bell curve. But yeah, so I just wanted to teach, like, you're not going to gain 20 pounds of muscle. You're not going to look crazy jacked. It's just not going to happen. I have tried to build, like, I have wanted to look like a muscle mommy, like jacked as heck. I have not missed the gym. I've been dialed for probably 5 years and I still don't have as much muscle as I would want. So I just want to, like, the listener, I'm going to get into the benefits of weightlifting, but I just want to let you know, if you don't want to look crazy jacked and all this stuff, like, I promise you, don't worry about it. Like, truly, do not worry about it. At the end of the day, if you think you're getting too jacked and you just have crazy genetics, because it does come down to genetics if you can gain a lot of muscle, especially really quickly, then yeah, taper off a little bit and then your muscle will go away and then you can maintain whatever muscle you want. But I want to get into the benefits of muscle and building. But actually, I don't know how to weave into this. I wanted to,
have a question,
oh yeah.
I think. I guess I'm going to kind of figure it out as I say it, but I hear some people say that they have a certain body type that they're going for. I know that you and I have even talked about this before, where some people naturally gain more muscle, say, in their legs or their arms or whatever. And so do you suggest in that case that people, if they focus on different areas depending on where they maybe need to more?
Yeah.
Like some people,
Absolutely.
like I naturally kind of get like calf or leg muscles easier
Yes.
than I get arm muscles. And so, yeah, I'm just curious about that.
Absolutely. I know I'm kind of weaving in and out because I wanted to make this more of a discussion too. I'll come back to this other question, but yes, thank you for asking that, because that is something I was going to say almost in a what I do, like a tip. That's the beauty about, and obviously like no one here is trying to be a bodybuilder. Like I'm not even trying to be a bodybuilder, but in a way, that's the beauty of bodybuilding, meaning lifting weights, is you can sculpt your body however you want. So for me, my arms are actually like a really good responder. I don't want to have huge arms. I think most women would maybe feel that way. And so now, okay, so to build muscle, you want to hit each muscle group at least 2 times a week. That's kind of like the really sweet spot. You can do 3, but 2 is great. So for me now with my arms, I hit it once a week because that's more like maintaining. I don't try and push my weight crazy. I don't try and do anything like that. I just maintain the muscle because I'm happy with what I have and I don't care to grow. So you can take a program and then be like, oh, I actually don't want to have my arms be, I don't want to, like, I'm fine with my arms. This is the caveat to that though. Sometimes you think that you don't want to grow a certain muscle group because you think it's too big. And I want to say this with so much kindness and love. But sometimes why it's big is not because you have too much muscle. It's because you have too much fat, where if you actually like saw how much muscle you would have, you would actually probably be shocked with how little muscle you have on your body and how much you would want to build up that muscle in your body, if that makes sense. But does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, me at the point of life I'm in, I'm not even thinking about bigger or smaller necessarily at all. More for me, I'm like, I want to be able to lift my grandkids.
You
I
want to be
wanna able
strong.
lift my groceries.
Absolutely.
So I'm not even in really that place of like
Yes.
trying to have a certain size in a certain place of my body. For me, it's more like I want longevity.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Yeah. No, so with that though, with longevity, what's really cool, I think at any age you need to be lifting weights, especially like the elderly needs to be lifting weights because they're the ones that are trying to get up off of the couch by themselves, walk down the stairs by themselves. That all has to do with muscle. So if you're not maintaining your strength, that is like a huge deal.
That's probably why their bones break so easy.
Exactly. Weightlifting. Okay, let's get into this real quick. The benefits of weightlifting. I'm just going to like spew off a little bit. If you guys know some like or have some, let me know. Bone density goes up. So less bone breaking, less everything. Your tendons / ligaments strengthen. So less injury with anything. Like even if you have sports or whatever, like that's why football players will, obviously because of power and stuff too, but like that's why you're weightlifting too, is so you can be strong and everything can grow, like muscles, bone density, ligaments, all that stuff. Higher metabolism. So I don't know if you guys have ever, maybe I'll ask you this. Has there ever been a period, we can cut this out if you don't want to answer this.
Ooh, or ask it.
Okay, I'm like, I actually didn't plan on asking something like this, but I wanted to try and have a conversation about it. I have struggled with this. Have you guys ever tried to burn off your food using cardio?
Oh, totally.
I think a lot of
Yeah.
people do that.
I used to feel like I could only eat if I went to the gym. Like when I would feel full, that equated to I have to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would eat and then I would go straight to the treadmill because I'm like, okay, if I eat, that means I need to move, which
kind of is
good
true.
thing,
Yeah.
But it wasn't not the way I
Yes.
was doing it.
Yes.
But now I know about weightlifting because of you. And so I'm like, whoa, but I want to hear what you're going to say about cardio.
No, what about you, Mom? Do you feel like you've had that kind of relationship before? Or not really? You don't have to say you've had.
not really. I don't think I think enough to do that. I mean, I'm not even, I kind of just like, I'm busy eating and then I'm busy doing this and this and like, oh, and I want to go to the gym. Like, I think it would be good for me to maybe be more conscious about that.
Yeah.
But not in an unhealthy way. But for me, it's more like trying to plan it out that's harder for me than like not necessarily the calorie to calorie burn.
Yes.
I've never really struggled with that too much.
Totally, and that's okay. That's totally understandable. What I want to say, coming back to the benefits of weightlifting, why I ask is because cardio is incredible, and we can get into maybe in another episode like why you should do cardio and all these things. But there is nothing quite like building muscle for your body for longevity, even in terms of body composition, okay? Because when you have more muscle on your body requires more fuel to maintain that muscle. And so it automatically, even while you're sleeping, will burn more calories off. So instead of like eating a lot of food and then having to work it off, and honestly, if you look at the stats of like how much cardio even burns off the calories that you eat, it's crazy. Like you'll have to be like a marathon runner.
And why do people do cardio? Is it just for like heart health and like respiratory health?
Okay, so it's hard. So some women I've noticed, and men too probably, do cardio because they think that will burn off the calories that they need. But to do that much cardio is crazy. It's like so hard to maintain that much cardio. Where I've like come into my fitness journey and like really have grown and developed is cardio is so good for your heart. It is literally one of the best things you can do for your mental health too. Like weightlifting is, but cardio, what is it called? Endorphins? Is it endorphins? Yeah. It raises endorphins and all those things way more than anything else. So,
Really? That's so interesting.
yes.
Yeah, and have you heard the stats? Maybe not stats, but where people, is it Michael Phelps, the swimmer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he has to eat like 10,000 calories a day or
Yes.
something just to maintain like his level of exercise
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Something like that. That's a loose number, but
It also
Yeah.
it helped me with asthma.
Mm.
Like I have asthma really bad, and
You can breathe better.
it like
I've
trained
noticed that.
my lungs to
Oh,
like
to expand.
to have more endurance.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
I used to be like a cardio hater. I only weightlifted. No, there's so many benefits to cardio. So many. But if you are doing cardio only to burn calories, that is not why you're doing, like, that's not why
I feel
you
like
need
that's
to be
the-
doing
That's the
cardio.
old school way of looking at it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, working out means running.
Means only
It means
running.
the elliptical and
Yes.
biking,
That's true.
not weightlifting.
Yes.
That's like for men.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what needs to change. If the audience doesn't know, Dr. Stacy Sims, she's incredible. She talks about women's health. She has this TED Talk saying, it's titled something like Women Aren't Smaller Men, where she gets into like weightlifting for women and why we're different, our hormones are different, but you still need to weightlift and you still need to do all these things. And so it's a huge trend right now. When I first started weightlifting, I saw no other girl in the gym. Like seriously, I was the only one in the free weight section.
And this
And-
was what? How long ago?
Probably like 2019, 2018.
Okay.
But now it's like 50-50. I see girls all the time. And it needs to be that way because we all need to be weightlifting. Like it's not a manly thing to have
Well,
muscle.
I mean, they just kind of took up that section of the gym for so long.
Yeah.
I remember like visiting Brighton in Florida, and you took me to the gym, and you just like pranced on over to like the big beefy like plate magic craziness, and I'm like, what is she doing? This isn't our section.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't
yeah.
say that, but I'm thinking that in my head, like this is
For
where the
men.
dudes hang out.
Exactly.
But I was so impressed that it was obvious you had been there so much that you just felt comfortable.
Yes.
And you chose to take your space, like Kinley always
You-
says, take up your space. You deserve to be there if you want to be there. And I it's so good to hear you say that you see a change in that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's so many things I could talk about, but yeah, once you go enough, you're like comfortable and you know where everything is, but for sure you need to almost work on taking up your space, especially as a woman in the gym. And I feel like coming back to the fads, toning and sculpting and wanting to be so small and petite, it's like that has, I don't know, it has just made women, the only thing that women need to be is small. And I just don't believe in that. I think that in old age, that's probably hurt a lot of women's health because of bone density and all of the things I talked about. Like, you don't have to be huge and jacked or whatever if you don't want to be. Totally fine. If you love running as a woman or you love cardio, great, do mostly cardio. But it's, again, even in terms of longevity, even if you don't care about the lifting, like you need to be lifting. There is so much research to show like you need to be lifting.
Does it have to look like the gym? Like lifting is so important,
Mhm.
and I feel like people could listen to this and be like, okay, but I don't want to go step foot in the meat fest of a gym. So how can I be like lifting and checking off that box if it's not in a gym?
So this is what is kind of interesting. So when it comes to like Pilates and stuff like that, it's good. It will have you grow muscle, but there's not enough tension. There's not heavy enough weights for you to build muscle. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of progressive overload. So for you to grow muscle, you need to do more in the coming weeks and years. So like for me, I can lift like 3 times the amount of weight I used to be able to lift because I kept pushing the weight. What's hard with like studios and stuff like that is they'll only have like 5-pound dumbbells or like resistance that's like if you've been doing that for even 6 months, you're not pushing yourself, your strength. So then that's where I would say, like, hey, buy some dumbbells. And there's so many at-home workouts, especially because of COVID. So many more people that have done programs with at-home workouts. The only thing I will say to that is, like, hey, maybe you'll get away with 10-pound dumbbells, but in 6 months, not even 6 months, you'll need like 15 pounds and then 20 pounds, and that's okay. But, or you'll need to do like way more reps. So instead of 5 reps, you'll need to be doing like 20 in 6 months, which is like way more time consuming.
So it's like a starting point.
Yes.
And then they could decide if they want to buy heavier weights or
Yes.
a gym membership.
Or a gym membership. I mean, there's so many gyms that are almost like ma and pa type of style of gyms. Rec centers, exactly, where it's like I go to like the big commercial gyms that everyone goes to, but even our friend, like the bearded trainer, our friend, where like that was the coolest private gym. I don't know. I just feel like there's a way more gyms than maybe people think. There's even all women gyms that I've seen that are popping up everywhere. Like in Tampa, there was one. So yeah,
I have to say sometimes you just got to start where you can start. And for me, for a long time, it was literally going up into the mountains and lifting rocks.
Yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
It does sound so funny, but I didn't feel like going into a gym. I didn't even want to lift weights in my house. I had to be in nature, and so for me, it was just like I was laughing on my own, like lifting rocks.
But that is resistance training. Yeah.
Or you see moms like with like their babies.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, I was way stronger than I realized when carrying all the babies.
Yeah.
But for me, that was a great start. And then eventually, after it took a few years, I go to Orange Theory, and I know it's still not the big resistance, but like
it's great.
They will say to me like, you need to lift heavier now, like, you know, and they have other options for different weight training that we do. And for me, that I love it. It's been great, but there's so many different options, and I think that's what you're saying is like have an open mind to what it might look. I remember when I couldn't afford a gym membership or even free weights, and I used cans of soup in my kitchen.
Yes, I've used bottles of water during COVID, gallon jugs. Yeah, crystals.
Coming from the
meteorites.
That's freaking funny.
I love that.
It's like charging your soul as that's so funny, actually.
Crystals and water bottles.
Water bottles during COVID, because yeah. I love that you guys bring that up.
It's cool because we can talk about all different seasons, because now I go to the gym and gosh, I like despise
hard.
The gym, you know, but now I actually love going and lifting weights. Like, it's actually fun to turn on your headphones, and it's so much better than cardio for me because of asthma, where I'm like, oh, I can sit on this machine and take a break and then like only use my muscles, not like as much of my like lungs, you know? I love it.
Yeah. And speaking to the benefits of weightlifting too, that I wanted to I feel like I didn't finish my thought fully with this. What's so cool is like, and obviously not everyone here is wanting to lose weight, okay? That's totally fine. But this is what I find really cool about like weightlifting versus cardio is so let's say me 3 years ago, I was laying in my bed for 8 hours, okay? Like I was sleeping. You still will burn calories sleeping, right? It's called your basal metabolic rate, meaning what your body burns at rest, fully at rest. So me 3 years ago I have no idea. This is like, don't take these numbers to heart, because I have no idea. But let's say me totally at rest could burn like 1,000 calories doing nothing. Okay, me now with more muscle burns 1,300 to 1,500 calories at rest. So it's like, instead of spinning your wheels and running and running and running and having no like muscle to support you, it's like longevity wise, having muscle on your body and strength is like way better than cardio. But now I've come full circle where I'm like, oh, I really love cardio. I used to do cardio because I hated myself, you know, and I used to do cardio because I wanted to burn calories. And now I have this itch to do cardio because afterwards it makes me feel so good. And I think that's a huge switch that I would love everybody to have, even with weights too. I used to hate weights. Now I love it. I love lifting weights. I totally had that stage of hated lifting weights. I only went because of my husband.
So I have to ask just from psychological standpoint. I'm just
Yeah.
curious. So when do you think that shift was? Meaning not fun. I hated it. I hated it. Now you love it. I'm curious if, like with resilience, research a lot. It's like if you have a success, then you get endorphins. Let's say you have a good experience, and then it reminds you when you feel like I can't do that or I don't want to do that. You can recall how you felt because you did it. Does that make sense? Do you feel like that's what happened, or do you feel like it was?
Yeah.
one
I have a
thing that
perfect answer.
happened? Yeah.
I don't necessarily know about one thing, but this is something I believe. I have never in my life regretted going to the gym or working out in any way. I've always regretted the times that I was wanting and should go to the gym and decided not to. And so I think when it comes to like dopamine and the reinforcing of habits and stuff, it gets way stronger that it's like now it's second nature for me to go to the gym. I don't even think about it anymore. It's like my body literally craves movement. Like even now sitting here, I usually wake up and like first thing I do is move. And so it's kind of actually hard for me to like sit after I like wake up because it's truly so ingrained in my body that I need to move. But again, like motivation isn't always going to be there, you know? Like there's still days that I don't want to go. I think it reinforces like I know how I feel after the fact that I'm like, "Oh, that felt good." Like I've never
Feels
regretted
good,
it.
and
Yeah.
then it's like, do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I love that answer, and I would agree. I actually have this thing that I do. If I take it one step at a time, because getting to the gym is like the hardest part. Because every night I go to bed and I'm like, okay, I'm going to wake up. I'm going to the gym tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and I'm like, okay, what outfit do I really want to put on? My gym outfit or the other one? And it's like one step at a time. Pick the gym outfit. Then get in the car or drink something and eat something that's going to fuel my workout. And then when I get to the gym, I don't let myself drive away. Because it's so hard to get out of the car.
Yeah.
Drive away. I love that.
And so I sit in my car, and sometimes I'll sit for a long time, and I actually try not to sit because the longer I sit, the more I want to drive away. And so it's just that one thing at a time. Like, I'm here.
You
get
need
out
like
of
a
the car.
time to get out of your car,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Like I always say I like rotting before like getting out. Like phone rotting, whatever, but again, like unless I'm doing work and stuff cuz I do a lot of stuff on my phone, but
Brighton.
yeah, but I really will. Like I will deliberately drive to the gym 15 minutes early like just to like sit in the car and pump myself up with music, eat my little snack, whatever, but as you were saying.
I'm so kind of opposite of what you guys are saying that it's making me laugh. Like, I have to shock myself, and so I'll do things like sign up for the New York City Marathon, and then not train,
Crazy.
and then I get closer and closer. I'm like, oh crap! Like,
We know you wanted to say
yes, it's coming up soon. I should have been training now for a year. And it's like in a month, and I should be tapering now, so I'm probably good. Like I can't.
So you just take your taper week?
So I just take my taper. So literally,
I haven't trained once, but let's taper.
Tapering now.
So I just taper, and I'm like, I'm good. I'm like totally following what I should do, and then like, because I don't want to injure. You can't pull a muscle before you run a marathon without training. So I'm just being
or
smart
breaking
here.
shoes. You don't want blisters before.
No, yeah. And so then I like show up, and
I can't
like
believe you did that.
when I did this was just like
Literally
years
can't believe
ago.
you did that.
2021. Yeah, that's a whole story. Maybe I should tell the whole thing later, but basically it is a funny story. But I'm just going to cut to the chase and basically say by the time I got there, I'd only ran a total of 28 miles, and a marathon is what, 26.2?
Yeah,
So
something.
but I did it, and I didn't die.
That's
But
crazy
I
you
kind
did
of have
that.
to like set something that shocks the crap out of me, and then I do it out of like fear, excitement, or adrenaline.
Yeah.
But I wish I would like pull it way back and be like, drive to the gym.
2%.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2%.
Okay. Yes. I have to say this too. Like, one, even with weightlifting, what I did so wrong is I went so hard at first, and your body's not freaking used to it.
Yeah.
So then I took 3 weeks off, And then it was so hard for me to restart again.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, can I say this thought real fast? I actually said this on my Instagram, and you guys are going to totally, I feel like one of you guys said that you love this. I have this thought that says, don't get Medusa'd. Because Medusa, what does she do? She turns you into stone. So I feel like when I started going to the gym and then something kind of came up and I didn't go to the gym when I was supposed to go to the gym, it took me 3 weeks to get back to the gym because I was still made of stone. Does that make sense?
Restart, yeah.
It's so hard to restart. It's so much easier to keep going. But I've even noticed now in my life, like, oh, I have this habit going. Do I want to break it today? Because if I break it today, it's going to be easier to break it tomorrow. And then soon enough, I'll turn into stone again. And then breaking stone is so much harder than, going, if that makes sense.
That's how I feel walking into the gym. It's like, if I drive away today, I will drive away tomorrow. I know myself.
Yeah.
And I haven't.
I kind of do that with like food, like all or nothing approach. Like all or nothing is it can be damaging in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I know I feel like I rambled so much.
Well, we keep taking you off track.
No, it wasn't
doing
like
good.
I didn't have ideas for like a conversational thing.
love
So I feel
it.
like I had so much information to share, but maybe let's get into some tips, tricks. We've already been kind of talking about mindset stuff. But I just want the listener to know, do some resistance training. It doesn't have to be in the gym. But I would even urge you to like look up Dr. Stacey Sims or look up like the benefits of weightlifting. It doesn't even have to be anything physical. Like, it's just for longevity. There's so many, even your blood sugar. We can get into this later, but your blood sugar, your muscles hold glucose. Okay. So, if you eat some sugar and then you're just sitting there and you're not utilizing the fuel that you gave your body, that will cause a huge blood sugar spike. But there's studies to show if you eat something and then you move your body, you do 10 air squats, calf raises, or you hit the gym like I do, your muscles require that glucose and it pulls it in. So like blood sugar is even important. There's so many things. But yeah, I just want the listener to almost like do their own research. Maybe look at a few people that they like in the fitness industry, or there's so many free programs online. Like there's so many amazing paid programs, but also free programs. Yeah, but that is my tips. I want you guys to talk
have a
about
tip.
your tips, please.
My tip is to reach out to Brighton.
Yeah,
serious.
please though, honestly.
Brighton wants to take one-on-one clients and help them, and she tells me every day,
I want to do group coaching. I
Okay.
think. Whatever. I don't even know.
reach out to Brighton though, because the reason I got in the gym is because I had Brighton as a sister. And I'm so grateful. I don't want to cry. I'm so grateful though that like she went through her own health journey so that she could hold my hand, and she's the safest person where like I'm insecure about my body and Brighton's like the nicest, and you can hear her on the podcast. You probably can already tell that she's like, I want to make sure I say this kind and it's fluff, not fat. And like she's so careful because she just knows,
I just
like,
know.
yeah, she understands. And so that's my tip. Reach out to Brighton, ask for help. I text her all the time at the gym, and I'll send her videos of me doing workouts and be like,
Which I
what
love, by
is
the way.
wrong with this workout? Why am I not feeling it here? And she's so happy to help.
Thank you. That was really sweet. And yeah, seriously, feel free. Like, I'm not coaching anyone right now, but I love when people reach out and ask questions.
Yeah.
So
I mean, and this is just live brainstorming, which is dangerous, but I mean, this is what we do all the time, but maybe there's benefit to just having like a Facebook group that's closed or something for Effervescent, where it's like if people just want to like upload and say, kind of like we did with our
Mindscape.
our Mindscape, and like upload and
Ask
say, I moved
questions.
today, I did this, or ask questions, or talking,
maybe we'll start
kind of a
Facebook
group thing.
or a Discord. I know a lot of people do Discord, Telegram.
Yeah, we can
WhatsApp.
think more about
So
it.
basically, community.
Yeah,
Community is what's
Like,
needed.
it
Yeah.
helps.
absolutely. I mean, I have my movement club. If you guys are ever in Utah, or anyone listening to this is in Utah, I have a movement club every Saturday morning. We go on walks, play pickleball. I want to do a lifting club so bad. I have no idea how to pay for the gym space or where to go, whatever.
You just go to the bearded trainers.
That's what I was,
Yeah.
I need to talk to him. But anyways, yeah, it's the community aspect. I think people are craving it. We talked about this yesterday. We went to this meeting about mental health and stuff, and people are craving community and they don't feel like they have it, and I feel that way too. So yeah, let's create something like that. I think that would be awesome for sure.
I have a tip
Yes.
before we end. okay, I know my example with training for a marathon isn't like the best tip, but I will take the good part about it. And that is I think it's awesome to look out and set a goal of something that looks
Yes.
fun. Like even if it's a 5K walk, or if it's like mud runs are so fun, or I did like
Yeah.
a few sprint triathlons, but like beginner ones that are beginner friendly.
Fun. I didn't
So
know they had beginner
yeah, they
ones.
had one
We
in
should do
Saratoga
that.
Springs. I don't know if they still do it, but that's the one I went to first.
Mhm.
But find something that looks fun, even if it's a trip that's coming up where you have a goal and you're saying, I want to feel this way when I'm at this place. I know
Yeah.
you do that, Kinley.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's just a good
I
way
was gonna
to
say
not just
that, by
focus
the
on
way.
the
Yeah.
calories, or like all or nothing food like I do, or or like how much did I lift, and that's all you think about. For me, it helps to have a thing or a
The
place
goal,
or a goal.
the
Yeah.
thing to work on. Especially like when, like you said, I mean, I've heard that before. Marathon is just crazy. You finish. Like that is in that meaning crazy in like the most impressive way. I actually cannot believe you did that. I
We
really
can talk we can talk about it
crazy.
later how that happened. It
Yeah.
was not just by chance. I had to really
It's like, yeah.
mentally.
But yeah, I will say that though, like, that's one of the biggest things people say is like, yeah, like set a goal so you have something in your time horizon. Like for me now, I just like going, but for sure I was thinking about trips and how I wanted to feel and stuff. And I don't think that needs to be like an unhealthy thing. I think that's actually really helpful when
I
you are
thrive
excited.
when I have something I'm looking forward towards.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I thrive.
Mhm.
And I always attribute it to, as a kid, cleaning my room. You'd be like, if you can clean your room, then we'll go play. And so I'm like, if I just do this one thing, then, and I
Yeah.
thrive.
Yeah, well,
Good.
in performance psychology, there is research that, I mean, whether it's your game coming up, right? You're looking at like an athlete,
Yeah.
or you want to attribute that to just coaching in general. If you have your goal and how you want to feel, then it's absolutely motivating. I
Yeah.
mean, it's backed by research for sure. So,
love
and it does help me. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally thank you guys so much for that. That was great. I feel like this episode was very jam-packed. Let us know if you have any questions. I will say we have a freebie. We're going to do the mind, body, soul worksheet thing that we have. It's basically this sheet that says what we all do to feel good every day. So it's like a checklist. You can choose one from the mind column, one from the body column, one from the soul column, and there's like 10, 15 each, so you can switch them all out. But these are things we do every day or choose from, and it's a really great worksheet. So if you guys want to get that for free, it will be in the description box below. And yeah, until next time, we will see you. Bye.